We have a full house. I don't think they came here to discuss commission appointments or I don't know. So I want to ask you, what do you recommend, Mr. Clerk, that we take up at this time? What, I mean, I'm having a senior moment. Would you help your president out here? What items should I take up right now?
Mr. President, it would be my recommendation to move to items 2 through 8. 2 through 8, sir.
Okay, with that said, Ms. Perry?
We're going to take a giant step forward here in the city of Los Angeles. This is about bringing football back to the city of Los Angeles, and don't let anybody tell you that it's not. This is also about bringing new jobs here to the city of Los Angeles, not taking jobs from somewhere else, but bringing new jobs, net new jobs, and putting our people back to work. 2 years and countless hours vetting all of the major issues that have helped to strengthen and enhance what is potentially, and I don't even say potentially, what is the biggest mega project and investment in our city for the next decade. And all of them have worked to protect the city and the taxpayer interests, and to strengthen this agreement. The chief legislative analyst and the chief administrative officer listened very carefully to us, and in doing so, they made their #1 goal to ensure that the city and the taxpayer interests are protected. This has always been my top priority. They have been extremely successful in ensuring that this is clear in the development agreement that is before you today. I'm also excited at the prospect of updating our convention center and making it a competitive and desirable venue. We were not ever going to be able to do that ourselves. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is good for the entire region of Southern California, and I would argue the state of California. It goes beyond downtown. Downtown is the engine that has driven the recovery of our economy, and this project is a major part of that. Their streets will be improved, their sidewalks will be improved. We will have new parks, we will have internship programs, we will have college scholarships. The bar has been set very high, and any project that comes after this should follow suit so that we can bring everybody's boat up with the tide and not leave anyone's community behind. This new project is going to generate hundreds of millions of dollars in net new tax revenue. New jobs, net new tax revenue. Please address the safeguards that are in place, the amendments to the implementation agreement, which will be made today, to further ensure and reassure and reaffirm that the city and the taxpayers will be protected regardless of who owns the company.
Safeguards in place. In terms of the change of ownership, this is a very long-term agreement. It was always contemplated that there could be changes of ownership, changes of the structure, etc. So there have always been assignment provisions contained within all of the agreements. Before you are some amendments that specifically address the issue of the potential sale of AEG. They do provide the council with assurances that any new owner would have the experience necessary, the character necessary, and in order to, and the financial capacity, obviously, in order to proceed with. I've said it multiple times, and it deserves repeating. There is no public money in the stadium of any kind, none. We are not subsidizing, using public money to subsidize the stadium. We're using private money to subsidize our new and improved convention center. 3/4 of the money coming to build our new convention center is coming from ground lease payments that are at market rate and Melrose taxes on LA Live property that will be an obligation of the property itself. So this is not a public subsidy of the event.
The same way that in the next 55 years there'll be several different mayors, several different council presidents and council members. We always anticipated that there would be changes in ownership at AEG. And so this agreement assures the city that all aspects of what is being proposed, all the protections that are included must be accepted by the new owner regardless. Well, we certainly all want football. This has always been about the convention center. And the convention center, at the end of this process, the city will have a much more effective convention centers to compete in a very competitive arena. Part of this deal is, it includes a payment method to ensure that the convention center is fully funded. The total cost of the new project is $314.6 million. The way that's being funded is through two series of bonds. The first is a tax that AEG is imposing on themselves, and that tax will cover $109 million of the overall debt required to build a convention center. In addition to that, the city is issuing lease revenue bonds that are covered by lease payments that are contractually obligated by AEG, by specific property taxes that now be generated as a result of the space being public versus private. I mean, private versus public.
Today, a project we can be proud of that moves Los Angeles in the next century, that provides a lasting impact on the urban design, the neighborhoods in Los Angeles, and creates a public space for everybody. A review that you haven't seen in Los Angeles before.